Welcome to Backstage with Richard Ridge. I'm here at the Green Room 42 to catch up with the two stars of one of Broadway's biggest hit musicals, Beetlejuice. Please welcome Alex Brightman and Sophia and Caruso. First of all, it is great to see the two of you.
Good to see you too.
Thank you. Seriously, thank you for sitting with me. There's the foot. All right, put your foot up. What were you doing before? What was that thing? Is that the Tarantino?
That way, yeah.
Look, you said be comfortable. We're going to be comfortable.
I want you to be comfortable.
That's the Dakota Fanning in the new Tarantino.
The new Dakota Fanning.
No, Dakota Fanning in the new Tarantino.
Fabulous.
Which is what we're here to talk about today.
No, we're here to talk about you two.
Oh.
You know, the last time I spoke to you a lot during the process of Beetlejuice, during rehearsals, during previews, opening night, during awards season. Now Beetlejuice is a big Broadway hit, and now you're just running. How much fun are you two having?
It's a blast. We're running.
We're running.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We didn't, to be perfectly candid, hindsight is, one of those things that's interesting is that, and to be extremely candid, it's like, you see, it's the first time I've ever paid attention to like Broadway grosses because it's a big deal and it was a big season and we weren't by the numbers a slam dunk. And so you have that worry of like, oh my God, we love our show. So do we get to keep doing this? We have no idea. And then we just, after the Tony Awards and after we had dropped the album, we turned this ridiculous corner.
Yeah.
And now not only are we running, but we're thriving. We just did our fifth $1 million week in a row. Mm-hmm. And no sign of stopping. And October is like our Christmas. So it's like...
I know. It just keeps getting better and better. Like, I just feel like the deeper we get into the run, word of mouth goes around, which makes me very excited because I just love sharing our show. It's just so much fun. And we're very, very lucky to be doing a show that's running and successful. Because we're, one of the few new musicals that's left on Broadway. And that's just like, whoa.
It's super exciting, and word of mouth is the key phrase. It's just like it took this long for it to become that big, so we're glad we got the time to get that big.
Sure.
Yeah, it's been nice, and now it's paying off dividends like crazy because we have people coming back 6, 9. There's a girl that's been 17 times. Hey, girl that's been 17 times. At this point, I probably should know her name.
Well, let's talk about the fans. You have an incredible fan base at this show.
Yeah. Huge.
What's it like meeting the fans at the stage door?
Intense. It's very. I will just say it's very intense. They are real hardcore.
Yeah.
Capital F fans. It's. I will say it is amazingly overwhelming how many people not only like our show but want to tell us about it in many ways, with their mouths, with their art, with their pictures, with their experiences. It's just like it is the most fan art I've ever seen a show receive.
It's our walls in the theater are covered.
It's wallpaper.
That's terrific.
And it keeps coming in, and it's amazing, and it's all varied and interesting, and everybody is so clever. We have like really clever fans that do not just like it's a picture of Beetlejuice. They're doing art of the Girl Scout and of Otho and of really little minor bits of our show. Get these great parts of fan art, and they're great at the stage door too. They really are.
Oh yeah, we get a lot of them. The art is usually given to us at the stage door, or
Tons.
some people ship it, and that's totally fine too. We receive all of it, and going at the stage door, it's overwhelming, but it's also like a treat because I go out every night, and there's at least one person, or a teenage girl usually who's like, my parent died, and this like listening to this album,
A lot of that.
like really helped me get through it, and I feel like I'm like able to grieve properly just by listening to you sing on the album, and that means like the whole world to me because I don't just want to do a show that's purely camp, doesn't have a message, and our show actually has like a really good message, and I'm so glad that it's like effective and affecting people in such a positive way.
You forget.
So that makes me very happy.
I forget. Let me say, I forget a lot of the time that we're doing a show that is on the surface very comedic and campy, but that it does have this underlying really stealthy, emotional thing going on that people are really latching onto. And that's the same thing at the stage door. People not only who have lost people, but people who are currently losing people or people that are currently terminal themselves have come to see the show and are saying, just nice to laugh. It's nice to do this. Nice to laugh at the thing that nobody's laughing with me about. Yeah. And that's the coolest because that is what it is. It's exactly what our show is. We're laughing in the face of death.
Exactly.
Every single night.
Yeah. When people talk to me about the show and stuff, a lot of questions come up of like, how do you, like, it's pretty dark, but it's also so funny. And I say, yeah, that's, like, we have this it's like a very dark topic. It's death. It's dark. But I always say that I'm sort of that side of it, and then this guy makes light of it. Like Alex Brightman is a comedic genius, in my opinion. He's so funny.
Everybody hear that?
See?
No, but I'm serious.
He's just the funniest every night. He's always every night is like really unique with his comedy, but he's just so much fun to be on stage with. And so I've got the more like drama, darker parts.
And the lion's share of the work, if I'm going to be honest.
Oh.
She, holds the show on her these little tiny shoulders.
Yes. Right.
But she does it with grace and ease.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's also my drag name, Grace and Ease.
Grace Anise.
Grace and ease.
Yes.
Anise.
Grace Anise.
Because what I love about your show is people come to your show thinking they're going to see, oh, I love the movie, let's go see Beetlejuice, the musical. But it's so much more. You give them, you pay a beautiful homage to the film, but there's so much more to this show.
There's the cartoon.
Yeah.
There's
We got
totally
a lot of the cartoon.
Yeah.
a lot of the cartoon and that, but also self-generated comedy. Some of the stuff that just exists in the world of Tim Burton, the darkness and the wacky and macabre stuff, but of our own writers.
Yes.
And it really has a language of Anthony, Scott, and Eddie.
Yeah.
They've created their own language, subset of language within like the Burton catalog that totally fits the tone and yet happens to be contemporary and self-effacing at the same time. Which is nice because it's not just carbon copy the movie, throw it on stage.
I think what also makes it interesting is the movie, is set in the 80s, obviously, and ours is set in the present. And so I think that makes it more relatable to a younger crowd, which I think that I see so many young people, ages, I feel like a lot of the ages I see coming are 13 to 25, and I feel like they really relate to like our modern nods in the show, and it's like I said, it's set in now, and I think that makes it relatable to my generation.
Totally.
And my age group.
It must
Don't
be,
say that with disdain for my generation.
I didn't say that.
Your generation's coming too.
They are.
My generation.
They are.
In walkers
it's a show for everybody. It's a show for everybody. Even
But it is
kids.
so. That's the best thing about your show. I've gone to see your show a few times. I love the demographic for your audience because you have grandparents, you have parents who are brought up on the film, you have kids who are learning it who might have seen the cartoon or going to the theater for the very first time.
Which is a lot of it, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of first-timers come to see the show because they're not necessarily theater folk or Broadway folk, and they can I like Beetlejuice, or I like, Hot Topic, something that's like, they can latch onto something that's dark, and they go, okay, well, I'll see this, and they don't realize that they're seeing something that they once were like, well, I'm kind of averse to musical theater, but this is something completely different. I have indigestion while I'm saying that, but, still meaningful.
Well, it's going to be great for both of you because we all remember the first time you went to a show, like something live.
Mm-hmm.
And your audience may be going to this considering, I want to see Beetlejuice. And it's like, wow, it's live people up there. You're introducing them to this whole new world of theater, and that must be so cool to both of you.
Oh, yeah. I know that there's so many people in the people coming to see it that have never seen Broadway. In fact, I remember, I think it was like Fleet Week, maybe. I know that there's a lot of sailors in town. And this sailor, this very cute sailor, came to see our show, and he was at the stage door, and he said, this was my first Broadway show ever. And I was like, wow, you're a sailor. Can I give you a kiss on the cheek? Thanks for coming.
My.
It was really fun, but that was just a memory that
I'm just surprised because I did the same exact thing.
To the same exact sailor, right?
Hey, sailor.
It was so fun because it's like there's people who just have never seen theater before. Anyways, that was the first memory that popped in my
I will say this, too, about our
friends.
demographic, is that I went to, and this is not a knock on any other show, I won't even say the show, I went to 2 other shows this season, and it's not about, the shows are all great, I mean, I enjoyed myself either way, but to walk into our theater as opposed to another show that's pre-show, there's a lot of like, that's not my seat, grumbling, and in our show, it feels like you're already at a carnival, and the tone is completely set right away, so by the time the curtain opens, you've already sort of been in a show for 20 minutes, and I think that is so helpful and so due to Alex Timbers and
He's
all
so
the
visual
worlds he set up. And that is also present in Moulin Rouge, where you kind of come in and the show is kind of begun without you, which is fun for an audience to sort of feel like they're playing catch-up. It doesn't feel like you're ahead of anything because you're already begun.
It gets you like definitely in the mood. Like I noticed Alex Timbers switched out the light bulbs in our lights in the our like just the lights around the audience in the theater to be different colors. And even something so detailed like that just makes a difference.
He's a master of
Oh, you
atmosphere.
have an
And our
incredible
pre-show
pre-show,
music
yeah.
is just so cool.
Yep.
It's so cool. Matt Stein did really incredible pre-show music. So.
And how cool is it for you? I mean, you just take the audience in the palm of your hand and you run with them. How great is that?
It's the best gift I've ever received in a role because I love stand-up, I love improv, I love sketch comedy, I love all that stuff. And what you fight by doing a musical, a quote-unquote, or, regular musical, is that you have the fourth wall there. And that is, I mean, it's so tough of a muscle to stretch sometimes, knowing that there are 12 to 1,500 people staring at you. So the pressure's off for me, for somebody who loves that. It's just that I get to come out and make full eye contact with people and read them and constantly take their temperature and turn the knobs. So if we have a different type of comedy audience, I can turn those knobs and everybody and it trickles from the top down. Everybody can sort of feel what the tone of this show is going to be. And that's why I think it's different every night because
he's got them wrapped around his finger.
Yep. But it took, time to get there because it is not natural. What we do is not natural, and in our show especially, because it is not a natural ability to come out and just go, hi, how is everybody in this room doing? That's a thing that doesn't just happen. So it's a lot of work, a lot of confidence, a lot of trust with the writers and the other actors on stage. But now, again, it's like paying off like crazy because I get to come out and just let everybody's shoulders down to go, whatever happens tonight, we got you.
Yeah.
That's I think that's another thing people are latching onto is they just feel comfortable with this ugly... I almost said fucking, but ugly demon on,
Well, you did, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, this ugly fucking demon on...
You're a cute demon.
He's a cute fucking demon. Sorry for swearing, everybody.
It's all
I'm sorry,
good.
I don't usually swear.
I love the looks you've been given for this musical, too. So the first time you saw yourself all done up in makeup and costume, do you remember that first time you looked at yourselves in the mirror?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
What if that was her answer? Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
What do you remember about that first time?
I remember in DC I had a slightly different look, but when I came to New York and I got sort of my official, permanent look, I was like, good. I was into it. I saw him. I love putting my wig on every night. I'm like, this is a good look. It's just
She's
fun.
very good at that face.
Yeah.
It's fun. And
Selfies.
it was like very collaborative on the look. So
Totally.
I had a lot of. I do remember when we were in tech, I had this idea to put a little blue in my hair, and we tried it and got cut. But,
Got the kibosh.
But there were so many other things that I had asked for and I got because Alex Timbers is so collaborative and.
He wants to know about it.
Yeah.
My quick answer is that we went through over the last 4 years probably 8 or 9 different versions
Yeah.
Wow.
of what Beetlejuice was going to look like: face, costume, everything, hair, and it went from full movie makeup to something way too terrifying, to something way too cartoony, and then we sort of just figured during rehearsals, I was pulling so many faces during rehearsal, and because there was no makeup or anything in rehearsal, but trying to create that in the room, that we sort of just ended up on something that was a little lighter, so I could finish the look myself. And so putting it on for the very first time was very satisfying because we had found it. It wasn't rushed, and it was very carefully thought out, and again, collaborative. Like, it's just parts of me are in there, and parts of everyone else is in there. But once it comes on, it's very easy to pretend because we've been given a very cool budget to pretend with.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Who gets to the theater first? Who gets there the earliest?
I have to. I mean, I have
Okay.
to get there an hour before everybody, or half hour before everybody has to get there. But I tend to get there early a lot of the time anyway because I write on the side, so I use my dressing room as sort of a corner office and get stuff done there. And, I don't like to also rush into a space before I'm doing something. That was true for rehearsals. That's just my sort of MO, is to be somewhere before I'm doing something.
Yeah.
So-
That's for me. I mean, sometimes I'm there 2 hours early, just playing my guitar, writing. I also write. And then other days I get there, I write a half hour and get in my wig and costume, and then I'm like, there are places I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to do my lipstick.
But that's an amazing skill because that's something I do not have, never had. I got to the theater right when I was supposed to.
Yeah.
30 minutes later, I would be ready for the show, and we're 30 minutes into the show already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. My energy just will not be there. I have to know that I'm in the space first.
Because there are certain people who like to get there early and prep or just find yourself into your zone. There are people who like to get there at 7:30
5 minutes
or
after
5 minutes. I don't know how they do that.
I truly don't either. That's why people like Sophia to me are miracle people. I just do not know how that works.
Yeah, I don't really know either.
Because she's 48 years old. Did you know that?
You look fabulous.
She looks incredible.
All right, I want to talk about your friendship
A lot of work
because
done.
Our friendship?
yeah.
Okay,
We're going to go there.
we're gonna go there.
We all know how long it takes for a Broadway show to get to Broadway. We all know that. Were you two like 3.5 years together working on this?
Yeah.
All right, so do you remember that first day? Like, did you bond right away? Seriously.
You know this. You know
Yeah.
the answer to this because you thought I hated you.
Oh yeah. I was like, God, he like really does not like me. Now we have this.
She's wrong, but that's I get
I know
why.
that was like the general vibe I got. I think it was maybe because he's just like in the role. He's just so like, and I was just like, I don't know.
I tend to be rather bone dry when
He's
it comes
very
to,
dry.
and so
I think that's what it is.
So-
His jokes can be. He's so comedic. Sometimes in real life, his jokes can be a little bit cold, and I was like,
yeah, I think I hurt her feelings on day one,
Day one.
but just by being kind of just like cold but really I love everybody. I feel like you can't roast people you don't actually like. So
Yeah.
I do remember. I remember knowing that she was young. And I was like, how is this going to be? Because I came off of doing School of Rock and Matilda, and so I had worked with plenty of kids, like from very young to like kind of close to Sophia's age. And I was ready for possibly anything. I sort of was bracing myself for lead girl syndrome and didn't get that. Just got sort of an
"Frick is
actor.
lead girl syndrome."
Lead young person syndrome, I should say. But like, because you were a girl, but lead young person syndrome, which is like, I'm the star, capital S, and everybody has to fall in line. Yeah, but it didn't get that. What I got was an actor who just wanted to work.
Yeah.
And that's who I am. And so that was something we've shared, which is like, we're here, let's work.
Yeah.
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 She's the one that has to usually rein us in. That's the thing.
Yeah, we've got a really great relationship.
Yeah.
We joke around a lot.
Yeah.
We're very honest with each other. We talk about like what we're going through. I have this thing going on right now. It's called dog jaw. Have I showed it to you?
Oh, yeah, no, she has us. Have you seen us?
What's it called?
It makes us like really here.
You have a lockjaw? You touch
Here,
it.
you have it?
I'll show you.
Yeah, it's right. He has a thing. You touch it. Yeah. So that's called dog jaw. Got him.
All right, see, this is what you do. Is there a go-to dressing room?
Like a hangout room?
Yeah, hangout room. Who's the hangout room?
Leslie Kritz.
Yeah,
Is
hers
it?
is Leslie Kritzer's. I tend to gravitate towards Leslie every once in a while, unless they lock me out. And then, but I also gravitate to the men's ensemble room because it's big. There's sometimes
Yeah.
a dog in there. They're all just hanging out and like to chat.
Yeah.
I tend to make a round before the show.
Oh,
But
you do?
Yeah, I tend to gravitate in the boys' room because I don't know.
That's
where you
nice.
go.
I don't usually do that. You know what? I'm gonna start doing that.
It shows.
He
See,
loves
this is
you.
her. The way she combats it is to look sad, so I feel bad. But she doesn't realize that I have no heart.
You're like brother and sister, you know that.
Correct.
Perfect.
Ow. Sort of. Can you touch it?
Well, speaking of dogs, you have a new dog, right?
I do have a new dog. This is an exclusive.
Okay.
Kevin!
This is the
Broadway
first
World.
time it's on the record.
All right.
This is a Broadway World exclusive.
Kevin, right?
I have a new dog named Kevin. He's my
not
newest
new.
associate.
He's not actually new though. He rescued them from the street.
He was a stray dog in
Aw.
Oklahoma City. Followed my sister-in-law home on a walk. We cleaned him up. We fostered. My sister-in-law fostered him, and we were like, we'll take him. So now he's a New Yorker.
He's really beautiful.
He's very cute, and he's very funny, and he's very deadpan, which I'm so into.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, he's very Jack Benny.
He just kind of sits there like.
He does. He sort of. I'll say a joke, and I'll kind of throw it his way, and he'll go. He'll kind of Krasinski it to the camera. Yeah. He's good.
All right. How does it feel to be back at the Winter Garden? Because you were there literally right before this show.
I don't want to leave. I mean it.
Yeah.
I said this just last night. I was talking to somebody about this. I never want to do a show in any other theater. I love that theater.
That's
I
limiting yourself for work.
know, but I don't care.
I don't know.
I'm saying it.
There's always going to be a great musical going into the Winter Garden. It might as well star you.
Listen, if that was the
And
case,
you.
if that was my handcuffs, I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. I love the theater, not only the way it's laid out, but I love the way it plays. I like that it's big. I like that it's wide. There are spots I truly believe play better for comedy than others, and I just have had such a good time there. And it's also just technically it's above all the crush of Midtown.
Yeah.
So after the show's over, you can get cab, and that's nice.
I love that.
You're not just coming out of your theater and competing with, the million New Yorkers that just saw the shows too.
Yeah.
So I can get into a cab, and that's nice.
You have the same dressing room you had before, right?
Yeah.
Now you have Barbara Streisand. We call it the Barbara Streisand dressing
The
room.
Streisand.
right? The
It's called the Streisand.
Streisand?
Yeah, it's very cool.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
Is there stuff left behind? Like, did Sarah leave stuff behind?
I looked under
Yeah.
the dressing room, my vanity. I like crawled under there to see if anybody had written anything by. I didn't see
Yeah.
anything.
Turned out Sierra was still there,
Yeah.
but we got rid of her.
You know, talking about other people, you work with Andrew Lloyd Webber, but you were originally in the ensemble of School of Rock, right?
Mm-hmm. I played a child.
Yeah.
I played Lawrence on keyboards.
Yeah.
And
no, but weren't you originally in the ensemble before you moved up? Yeah,
that's right. I was
really
dead serious. Oh yeah, they did the table read of the show, and I played a kid. We all the adults did. They played kids and everybody just because they wanted to hear the script. And then during that week, they were like, "We're going to see if the script's good enough," and it needed some work. And so they had a bunch of actors, and I right when it was there, it was small, and we did the things. Nothing substantial, but I got to sit right next to Lawrence Connor, who was the director, and Andrew Lloyd Webber was right next to him, and they knew I was writing something, so we got to talking about writing and just kind of liked each other in general and sort of got along. And after the reading was over, I know this story now. They were looking at like who do we think is going to play the role?
Yeah.
And Madeline Lloyd Webber, Andrew Lloyd Webber's wife, she said, "I think it's going to be that guy." Which is amazing because it was only 1 week thing. And then a week later, I was in the room, kind of just singing these songs, and then I was sort of in contention of being in the workshop, and then I was cast in the workshop with the knowledge that I wasn't going to play it on Broadway. And by the end of the workshop, I was. So it was this very strange, tumultuous, great way, really weird road to that show, where it was totally not mine until it was. And I think that was a very bold and amazing thing that they were willing to choose somebody who is not a ticket seller, who is relatively unknown in that world, and who just was right for the role, rather than somebody who fit the type, So that was fun. And I do owe a lot of that, my fundamental life-changing events, to a lot of those people.
That's a great story. Just have started one way and then ended up somewhere totally different.
Completely opposite, yeah.
Yeah. You took this town by storm in Lazarus. I mean, I was able to see the show twice down at the New York Theater Workshop, working with David Bowie and creating with him, because he wrote numbers for you for that, right?
That's nuts.
What was that experience like?
I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
I remember my audition. I was scheduled to go in with the director and the producers, I believe, and I was on the bus to New York and from Jersey, and we just made it out of the Lincoln Tunnel, and I got a call saying David Bowie is here at Kelsey's office for the next 10 minutes. He'd like to see you. I jumped off the bus.
Literally tucked and rolled.
No, on 41st Street and 10th, basically where we are now. I sprinted to Telsey and Homage, which at this point I believe was on like 45th between 8th and 9th or something like that.
43rd.
43rd.
Yep.
And I sprinted. I got up there, and I said, "I'm here. And I was just
and he was like,
sweating.
"So am I."
It was in the summer too, so I was sweating, and I went in there, and I was just like out of breath and nervous and sweating, and he was just sitting there, and I was like, this is the rock god. I grew up listening to his music. I knew every single album by heart, and I went in and I sung "Fields of Gold" by Sting, and I remember him saying something along the lines of "That was fantastic," and I was just like, wanted to cry, and I did once I left, but I held it back because I didn't want to seem too desperate or whatever. And then on my birthday, I was in this horrible mall deep in Jersey, just waiting to hear, that thing where you go on audition, you're just waiting to hear, and it sucks. We were driving back, and my agent called me and said, they're hiring me for the job, and David Bowie loved it. And I cried the entire 45 minutes home. I was so excited. And then working in the room with him was awesome. I mean, he was sick, so he wasn't around too much, but it was his sort of final piece of work, and so yeah, it was so special. Definitely one of the highlights of my career forever, and my life also. So
just a brilliant piece of work, and to watch you do what you did.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Really great.
I loved it.
Not only are the two of you starring in Broadway shows, you're really busy. You just wrote a musical, right? Can you tell us anything?
Still writing it, but yeah,
we
just
did you
presented.
Have a workshop?
Yeah, we did. We just with Universal Theatrical and Second Stage put up a developmental reading of a show that me and my writing partner Drew Gasparini have been working on for about 4 years with the love of Universal Theatrical, and we could not be more happy that they are sticking with us. Based on the novel and then the feature film, it's Kind of a Funny Story, which is based on another Ned Vizzini novel who wrote Be More Chill. Couldn't be more different as far as style, tone, story. It's just about a kid who checks himself into a psychiatric ward and wants to see what's wrong with him. And it's sort of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest meets with The Wizard of Oz, as
That's
sort of
great,
how we're
yeah.
pitching it. Writing that, we went very well. We're very excited about it. And then just working on 2 other plays, and it keeps the anxiety away, is
Yeah.
what I like. So it's like I just do that, and then I can go do Beetlejuice, and the day is great. But yeah, doing on that, and pitching a couple shows this fall to try and get on television.
That's wonderful.
I like to keep
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're working on a new album?
Oh,
Yes.
Tell us about your album.
I don't.
Come on.
Oh, come on, you can tell us.
Please, Sophia, tell us about it.
Wait, shut up.
Okay, sorry.
Well, I will start by saying that I have probably 7 or 8 songs finished that I
Beautiful.
would maybe be ready to release, but it's just so personal, my music, so it's a little difficult, and unfortunately my co-writer, my music writer, is in the hospital right now, so it's sort of at a halt.
Okay.
But that doesn't stop me from writing. I'm always writing and sending him poems that I write and lyrics that I write and melodies and makeup or chord progressions or stuff I've written on guitar. And as soon as he's better, we'll keep working on it.
But it's been great to watch your career, what you've done in your career. And the same thing with you. I mean, we all knew you from Matilda and everything else, and this little show like School of Rock came along.
Uh-huh.
And you've always been very generous. You always sit with me. It's been really wonderful, and I always thank you that during your busy careers and what you do, you always take the time to stop with us at Broadway World.
You're a nice guy. It helps to be nice.
Well,
That's all it really takes.
Well, I love you too. You make magic 8 times a week. Thanks for stopping by.
Let's not go with love, but
Bye.
it's nice to
Here we
see
go.
you too.
Feet?
No, we love you. We love you. It was,
I was
it's
waiting
it's
for that.
Richard, right? Nice to meet
Yes,
you.
Richard. Thank
Very
you.
nice to meet you. Thanks
Oh,
for being
I
a fan.
love you.
Thanks for being a fan.
Thank you.
It's showtime. Welcome to a show about death. I'm gonna need some help. Hi, I'll be your guide. I'll be your GUIDE to the other side. The whole be deadly.
Because I myself am strange and unusual.
Daylight come and you unfold. All we wanna do is hear that sound. All we wanna do is hear that sound.